I'm Phil.
I'm Bob.
And we are
the Mountain Duo.
Let's go.
Let's go. And
I'm Matt. Is that where I say that?
Yeah, we've got Matt Panger from Bass Talk Live on YouTube. Y'all need to go over there and hit subscribe. We are now merging my Mountain Dew and my fishing backgrounds, bringing them together here in full circle. But right. Yeah, we're super excited. Matt does a show about bass fishing and other things Monday through Thursday, typically 8:30 a.m. Central, and lots of cool stuff, tips and tricks and life lessons are learned.
And I drink a lot of Mountain Dew out on the water, so I'm very, very excited to be a part of this. I actually have done I feel like quite a bit of research for this, so hopefully I can bring. I know you guys are experts in the Mountain Dew category. Hopefully I can bring something to the show that adds to it. And that I don't know if there's like a language, like a Dew language, like there is in fishing, where you can say something that sounds foreign to people who don't fish. So hopefully I've got the right lingo when it comes to this very tough judging criteria that you guys have.
Very convoluted, for sure.
I know I've got my glass.
Yes. Right. Okay. All right. Oh, I don't have mine. Mine's up there. I don't need it. But we'll let Matt do the pouring. That'll be fun. I did tell Phil, not to put you on the spot, Matt, but I did tell him that you're kind of like the history. You get all these nuances and facts and stuff. I said, so maybe he might bring some of that Mountain Dew facts or something to us on the show. Not saying you have to, but
I should have done some history of that.
Dang it.
On that. I do know. I mean, I know the history of the Mountain Dew sponsorship in bass fishing is rich. There have been numerous boats wrapped. Jason Christie with back in the FLW days had a Mountain Dew wrap. Then he went to a Diet Mountain Dew wrap. Mm-hmm. Wesley Gore has Mountain Dew on his boat now. There's been a number of both corporate and then individual sponsors throughout the years for Mountain Dew, and obviously they do a lot. They do a lot in the outdoor space as well with the Guggen Squad and guys like that too. So there you go.
Guggen Squad and Mountain Dew shirt on the
back. That's about the extent of the history.
That I know. That's awesome. Heck yeah,
is awesome.
Yeah, they are big. They've been at the Classic the last few years, had booths set up, and this year they were combined with Guggen, or maybe it was Guggen, and they had some Mountain Dew there for us to taste test.
I also know that if you have a fish that is compromised in the gills or bleeding, that you can use Mountain Dew, open it up. I always keep just an unused bottle of Mountain Dew. You want that fizz and carbon, and you can pour it onto where that fish is bleeding in its gills, and it'll, the carbonation in the mixture for some reason will stop the bleeding. That fish will be healthy, so you can wait in and then release it later. So I've actually poured Mountain Dew down bass throats before to stop the bleeding. They turn in, they're 100% healthy. They wade in, they go back to the catch and release boat, and then people can catch them again thanks to
Mountain Dew,
the healing powers of Mountain Dew.
That's what I've been trying to tell people all these years is how life-saving Mountain Dew is for people. Right. I'm glad someone else is out there telling the truth too. So
that's awesome. I never heard that before. That's cool.
Heck yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, we are reviewing our first new released flavor for the 2025 year, right? We haven't done.
That's right.
Any.
Yeah.
And the target date was May 5th.
No.
Yeah.
The target date was April 21st.
April 21st. May 5th was the second one. We haven't done that yet. But what are we reviewing, Phil?
We've got Mountain Dew Baja Cabo Citrus. This was the one that I stopped drinking Mountain Dew until I could find it. And what did I get? Like 10 or 11 days in? I can't remember. It all blurred together.
I was following that.
Thank you. Yeah. A lot of people were following. People were very encouraging on that and stuff.
The Dew strike of 25 is what I was calling it.
Yeah. Fun.
I was extra excited to find it because then I could start drinking Mountain Dew again.
I was not excited to see people posting in the comments that Bob's not even trying to help you. And then you call, that bum. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yes. But we have both found it. We have got it shipped up to Matt Panger in the Bass Talk Live headquarters up in somewhere Oklahoma.
Shawnee, Oklahoma.
Shawnee. There you go. So he's got a lot of stuff. Him and Phil are really good at their background, and me not so much. We'll give you a little look at this too.
Oh yeah.
Our first category, Phil, you want to remind folks what we do? You're really good at that.
That's right. We have 6 categories. We rate 1 through 6, with 1 being the lowest, 6 being the highest. And let's just jump into the categories.
Yep. First one, packaging and design. So it's boxes, cans. What the speaking of cans, I gotta go grab mine. I'm gonna have to make a run here in just a minute, but here's the box. The location that has the most yardage for artwork. And folks, this is a dying brand, as the Mountain Dew logo is officially changing sometimes here in 2025, and you may have already seen it in stores near you, where they spell mountain out again.
They do. And I have about a 12-pack of original, and when I opened it up, all the cans had the new logo. The box still had the old one.
Oh, wow.
But I think it takes a little while to use up their inventory, and they're probably,
they
not gonna
probably
waste
got a bunch
any.
of boxes printed and burning through those.
Yep. All right. Well, things I like about the packaging design.
Yep.
It's a Baja flavor, so it's got to have that wave on it. I like that the wave is incorporated onto the design. I like the colors.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for orange and manicured toes. What?
I've got my score already for my packaging design. You want me to go ahead and run with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
I gave it a 4. I like lots of things about it. I marked it down because it has the old logo on it. I'm excited about the new logo. I wish everything they put out in 2025 had the new logo on it. So that's why I bumped it down a little bit.
So I was going to start knocking it down for that exact same reason, but I withheld from it because I was like, I can't hold that against them. Like you said earlier, they probably have the artwork and everything and mass-produced boxes
a while before.
Before. Although they did know they were switching the logo a year ago, I feel.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't dock them points for that, and I gave them a 5.
All right, I did a little bit of research on this. So obviously, the Baja Blast goes back to 2004 with an exclusive partnership with Taco Bell with that iconic blue color. So with the Baja, with that new lineup, I liked how it had, that Baja blue in there, complemented nicely with the orange, which reminded me of the old school days of the Live Wire, which is the orange. But Cabo is a resort city, right? So you have to think of fun, you have to think of beach waves. I really like on the bottom of this can, it kind of reminds me of like a beach setting, like a calm beach setting, but then you have the waves in the background that kind of bring in that Baja flavor. You got a fun beach ball that's right there. Like it really kind of gives me the Baja vibes. Like if I was in Cabo, which is the Cabo citrus flavor, this takes me to it right there. I like the different, you have the full orange and limes with the slices then too. So I gave it a 5 as well. I'm not a label. I was not aware of the label change, so maybe that would have affected it had I gone into it with a little preconceived notion. But I gave it a 5.
Perfect. Orange and this blue, teal, whatever was my wedding color, so maybe I should have gave it a 6.
Oh wow!
And bumped it up, but orange. I know we always say Mountain Dew doesn't miss on purple, but orange. Y'all know I'm a Live Wire super fan. And so whenever I see an orange Mountain Dew, I am all for it. But there we go. Pretty good score to get it started. And that moves us to the appearance of the drink. So this is Matt. If you want to pour yours,
all right, let's see
into
if
your
we can.
glass.
Is this a direct pour or a side pour? Like what is the proper way to pour a dew into the glass? I
don't know what the difference is. We just pour. We're okay with fizz or no fizz, whatever.
Okay. So
let me make big. Hold on. How do I do that? This one?
Yeah, and then just drag me over there.
Nope. This one? Oh, jeez. Did I just kick Matt out?
Now I feel like we're in a 1980s
oh, here we go. Hold on.
Game show.
There we go. I did it. We did it. All right. So there you go. You can see it is a beautiful orange.
Definitely orange. I was not. I did not know what color to expect because there's a lot of that turquoise blue and orange in it. So it is definitely seems like a little bit of a lighter orange color.
I got it. They look different on each of your screens, so I got to pour some and see what it looks like in person here.
What do you mean they look different?
Well, yours looks a lot more red.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I don't know. Bad camera.
Yeah, I think mine looks a lot more how Matt's is coming across.
Definitely a live wire color. Correct, Phil?
Yeah.
I think very similar in color to live wire, yes.
I would say. Yeah. I mean, this is an easy pick for me on what I think.
All right. If you got your score, go ahead.
We can go back to even screen. This is making me nervous.
Oh, yeah, sorry. How do we do that?
There you go.
That works.
All right. Zoomed in on Matt. He's live every day for at least an hour. And put him on the screen. He's getting nervous. Orange is a favorite flavor color of mine, whether it's an orange popsicle, an orange as a fruit. I go around telling people orange is the best color to eat. And when I see orange, it makes me want to drink it. And to be honest, I've already drank a 12-pack of this one.
Today?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of late in the day already. So, 12-pack is done. No, for the last, I don't know, however long I've had it. But I am giving it a 6. I want to drink it. It looks amazing. Orange is the color for me.
Okay. I also gave it a 6. I think it looks refreshing. I want to drink it. I also really like orange as well. Part of that is being a Bronco fan my whole life. I've always loved orange. And when you mentioned it, I was thinking about it, and orange was actually one of my wedding colors as well. I wanted orange and blue. My wife was like, well, how about we just pick one of those? And I said, well, let's go with the orange. So
is Matt's wedding going to have BTL green or orange? That's the question.
Well, I am a graduate of the University of Oklahoma, which is crimson and cream. Our two arch rivals are the Oklahoma State Cowboys, which are orange, and the Texas Longhorns, which are burnt orange. So my affinity for orange is not shared with you. I also was hoping that it would be possibly a unique shade, kind of something in between that brought the Baja element more into it. Like if I'm pouring this doesn't part of the original, the Baja Blast was, it was like a weird aqua color where you wanted it. This I can't look at this and tell that this is a Mountain Dew color. So I am going to give this, along with my disdain for the color orange due to my collegiate affiliations, I'm giving this a 4. It does look very refreshing. I do like the transparency of it. It does look like something that I would enjoy drinking, not having tasted it yet, but because of those reasons, I'm giving it a 4.
Perfect.
I love it. That's a great part about our rating scale is we get to pull in whatever influences we want when we're making these decisions. So
That's right. Yeah. Wedding colors from 15 years ago. Yep. Bonus points. Perfect. I love it. All right. Well, folks at home, this is my favorite criteria. I wish we would start with it, but we've got to build ourselves into this one. And this is taste and smell. So this is where we get to partake. Let me open my can. Oh man! Now, Panger, Phil at one point had watched a video or something on how to wine taste test.
Yeah, where you do this and then you get the legs, and then you have to.
Then you have then you got to put your nose in there, and then you got to open your mouth and do it again, and then close your mouth again and breathe, and then open.
Yeah, I almost had some palate cleansers that I brought, but
so all right, to me it smells very, very orange. I'm getting very orange smell. I'm not getting, because as you can see on the picture, it's orange and lime pictures, right?
Right. And it's Cabo citrus, so you would assume some citrus fruits in there. Orange is obviously a citrus fruit, but also lime, possibly even something else, tangerine, I guess.
I get the tangerine strong. I like that. It's definitely a tangerine, more tangerine-y than orangey, if those are words.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
But I also get, there's like a fresh burst on when it first hits your nostrils that isn't orange to me. It's like a little bit different than orange, and then it's then the orange expresses itself later in the experience.
Mm-hmm. This is delicious. There's no other way for me to describe it. Although the orangey tangerine taste and smell is overpowering the lime, there is a little bit to me, not at the full finish, but almost where you start to finish it. I get the lime, citrus, and then it comes back to orange. So it's immediately it hits orange flavor in my mouth, live wire-ish. As soon as I start to swallow, it's got a little bit different flavor change, and then it goes kind of back to that orange. And now that I'm talking afterwards, I'm kind of getting more of the citrus lime feel, which is weird, but delicious nonetheless. Yeah, you got to do the slosh, Matt. Have you done the slosh?
I did on that. I mean, this is a no-brainer for me. This is a 6. I'm giving this a 6. I really enjoyed that. I was not sure what to expect, but I mean, I'm giving this as my first 6 of the day.
Let's go. I copied, but we already knew.
I also gave it a 6.
I am stocked up back here behind me with some cases of this, and we'll be buying more as it only is on an 8-week run. And we are closing in on halfway through that here pretty quick. And so they produce it for 8 weeks, right? You may still find it at stores, some random places, folks, in a couple months. But they basically make it and run it for about 8 weeks. And then they clear it out to make room for the next flavor of Mountain Dew that they're making. So
I enjoy Livewire, not quite as much as Bob does. This one, I feel like they took Livewire and just said, well, let's just add maybe a little tangerine, a little orange to it, or a little lime to it. And it took it up a notch for me. So I actually like this better than Livewire. I'm curious to know what you think, Bob. Do you like it better than Livewire, or is it?
It's hard. It's hard for me to say that Livewire. I mean, Livewire is the drink that all orange soda pops should be compared to. So it's hard for me to say, but I will have to admit it's very close. I do like the finish. I do like the little nuances that are there. Obviously, orange is amazing, but I haven't been drinking much live wire lately. It's been all this. So right now, it's probably not. If I was given my top 3, probably not live wire out, and I'd probably move this one in right now.
Well, your live wire stock is a little limited as well.
Well, until a couple weeks ago when my buddy Phil came into town and brought a couple cases of it to me. So I'm stocked and loaded on that again. Yeah. Matt, I'm glad you gave it a 6.
It was very good. I did. I to me, when I taste it, now I have not tasted as many Mountain Dews as you two have, but and there could be some, but that Baja Blast, and then they're keeping that Baja name on it with the blue, with all that, like that is iconic flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was, I get that at the very start of this. When I take a sip of it, I taste the Baja Blast. Like it takes me back to a Taco Bell in college when you got the large Baja Blast. And for some reason, when I get it, it has that Baja flavor to it more so. Like I don't get the live wire as much as I get the Baja out of it. And then it does kind of turn orangey and citrus, but that's why I really, really liked it. I think it kind of stayed true to its roots by keeping that and not just branding it off of the name without including elements of those flavors.
That what you just said is going to come in on one of our
2 categories,
a couple categories. And you might have to just repeat that, or we'll edit it and make it look like you're saying it again.
Yeah.
I think you're right, though. I think this is so thinking about the past Baja flavors. For the last few years, there's been 1 or 2 Baja spinoffs each year, and I think this one is the most like Baja Blast.
I will give you that.
Yeah, and it
has lime. Really like the other ones, none of the other ones.
Right, the other ones were pineapple, different things. So yeah,
I like that it brings Matt back to college Taco Bell, and it brings me back to Tuesday night Taco Bell.
my Monday at lunch was me Taco Bell.
Well, I was in college at OU when they released Baja Blast. So
okay.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
nice. So to be honest, Phil and I, neither of us were fans of Baja Blast.
Really?
For a long time.
For 15 years, 10 years, 12 years. I claim that it was a disgrace to the Mountain Dew label and that it was a huge miss.
When it first came out, we went together and tried it at a Taco Bell, and we both hated it. And then I think years later, we were like, how is this stuff still around? And we went back to the same Taco Bell.
Like, what are they doing?
Yeah, we went back to the same Taco Bell and tried it again and still didn't like it. And then when we started our channel a few years ago, it was one of the first ones we recorded, and we both got it and we're just kind of expecting to hate on it, and we both loved it. So
it's a maturation of your palates.
Maybe just that one Taco Bell. I don't know that I ever had it at any place.
I tried it other
Taco
places
Bell.
and was like, it tastes like sunscreen. Like I'm just got the spray sunscreen, and someone was putting it on next to me, and my mouth was open and breathing, and I was just inhaling their sunscreen, and that's what it tastes like to me. And so, but now it's one of my favorites. So I don't know, weird,
and not sunscreeny at all. So yeah, I've definitely made up for the last 10, 15 years of not drinking Baja Blast in the last 3 years.
Yeah, for sure. Mouthfeel. How does it feel on your tongue as you swallow? Does it give you dry mouth after a while? All that kind of goes into this category.
I don't notice any film in my mouth after not having a sip for a minute or so.
I feel like I am getting a little bit of dry cotton mouth though. Maybe I just need to drink more.
Maybe that's the point.
Yeah. This drink makes you want to drink more.
Can we put in an ingredient that makes them more thirsty? I do feel a little bit of dry mouth. I see what you're saying there.
I'm just getting a lot of citrus at the end. A lot of mixtures of citrus after it in the back of the palate. It lingers.
Yeah.
But it's pleasant.
Yeah.
It is. Pleasant aftertaste.
Yeah.
All right, I have my score.
I have mine as well.
I'm B3. That's what I got.
5 for me.
I gave it a 6.
Phil.
6 for Phil.
I kind of knocked it down half of a point for the little bit of cottonmouth that I'm feeling, and half a point of the little bit of bite that if you let it sit in your mouth, it starts to sting a little bit. Not a whole lot, but so I knocked it down for a full point when you put those half points together. But some Mountain Dews are a little bit more bitey. Like the Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot. Really bite you.
Highly recommended on the boat at 90-degree day.
Yeah.
Just a room temperature, air temperature, warm, flaming hot dew will just really bring you back to reality.
The first place I had it was on the shores of Lake Sam Rayburn.
Oh boy.
Yes. And it was because it tastes a lot like this or Live Wire to start. It's that orange.
Starts
and then
like Live Wire.
Heat finish to it, which is weird when you're drinking it. You're like, what is going on here? But I gave this one a 5.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Are we on to the next category?
I think so.
This
is Matt's favorite.
This one is the hardest category because this is the category of dewness, which is how dewy is it? Can you taste the dew? Or is it just another soda that's using the Mountain Dew branding? So
what I said 2 questions before applies to this. That's what this is. This is extremely dewy in my book.
It's got that smoothness of Mountain Dew. I don't get the bite that you were mentioning.
When I let it just sit on my tongue, you got to let it sit there for a while.
I tried that.
Maybe it's all the bubbles popping in there. I don't know.
Maybe.
But it's not unpleasant. It's not like I needed to knock it down. I just knocked it half a point. But
right.
I think it is very dewy. It's smooth. It's a almost I don't know the best way to describe it, but it's a very that Baja flavor is very subtle, which is what Mountain Dew is to me. Mountain Dew is a very subtle. I know a lot of people say it's super sweet and it's a very strong flavor. I think it's a very subtle flavor that if you mix it with anything, the Mountain Dew goes away and whatever you mixed it with overpowers it. And so I think this would be something where that orange is strong, and I would say it's pretty close to Live Wire. But then you have that finish, which is hard to explain, but delicious.
I think it's the dewness of it is very familiar. I think it's familiar, the parts of it that taste like Live Wire. It's familiar, the parts that taste like Baja Blast. So
for me, I think you have to do the dewness as objectively. You have to close your eyes and picture that we're not on the Mountain Duo show talking about Mountain Dew. Like if I was out in the wild in nature and I was blindfolded and someone handed me a can and I closed my eyes and I took a sip of it, am I going to say, what kind of Mountain Dew is this? Or am I going to say, what kind of beverage is this? Right. And I think that I would be able to, in an objective setting, pick this out as a Mountain Dew flavor. Not down to the flavor, so that's why I got high marks for the dewness for me on that. Like I'm not going to confuse this, for example, with Mellow Yellow.
That's blasphemy on this channel.
Unless it's April Fool's.
Right. Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes. What? Proud dad moment right there.
So I gave this a 6. Very dewy in my book.
It is. I gave it a 5 because I do get the Baja. I do get the Live Wire. And that Mountain Dew is in there, but I get those two overshining it over the Mountain, like original, I kind of compare it to. It's delicious.
I also gave it a 5 for kind of the same reasons that Bob just said.
Boom.
All right. That brings us to the last category, which is the name.
So and Mountain Dew, folks, is I got to put this up here. I've been slacking. Y'all make sure you follow Matt on
it's all fishing. Zero
Instagram.
Really
fishing. No, there's going to be next week. He's going to have a bunch of engagement photos up there and all that kind of stuff. And so
I don't think you get those back that quick.
Well, you're going to take some with your phone, right?
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah. You'll have. Yeah, she will for sure.
Yeah, but mainly fish. If you check it out, it's me holding a variety of fish in pretty much the same settings.
Right, and him feeding Mountain Dew to fish, so you can see that on there too. Yeah. You got to just scroll way down there for that.
Yeah.
But also Bass Talk Live on YouTube Monday through Thursday. Make sure you check it out.
iTunes MP3 too. If you
drive
down the road while you drink Mountain Dew, and do a little bit of fishing.
And sometimes Matt has guests that'll call in on Bass Talk Live.
Yeah.
And some of them you might recognize.
Yeah. Bob called in. I still owe him some highly sought after fishing line.
Right. Number one fishing line.
Pink fishing line.
Mm-hmm. So the name?
Mountain Dew Baja Cabo Citrus. It's kind of a mouthful, which I wouldn't have thought about until I started making a video series where I said, not drinking Mountain Dew until I find Mountain Dew Baja Cabo Citrus, and realized it was kind of tough to say for a while. I got good at it eventually, but
yeah, I think I just call it Baja Cabo. I
think so too. I think a lot of people even just shorten it to Cabo even.
Yeah. Mountain Dew Cabo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that they have the Baja spinoffs each year. So I like including that Baja name in there. And I think Cabo Citrus is great. Like Matt mentioned earlier, Cabo is kind of like a resort place.
Place.
Resort city.
Mountain Dew is giving away a trip to Cabo.
Yeah.
Currently right now. If you post on their social media, you can win a trip.
Right.
To Cabo.
That's the one with the ticket. Like you have to show a ticket from something.
Yep.
It can be a parking ticket. It can be a airline ticket. It can be a
change that ticket into some flight tickets to Cabo and put you up for a few days.
If you're the winner. That reminds me, I got to try to go enter. I got some.
Yeah.
I printed out my plane ticket the other day specifically so that I could use it to enter the contest. So usually I do my boarding pass on my watch and did
Panger's starting to try to dig around in his pocket. Hold on here. We got a honeymoon coming up. This might work out.
Court's a flight attendant though, so we get to fly standby.
Oh yeah.
I have flown standby to Cabo.
Oh.
And we flew out of Dallas Fort Worth and we flew into Phoenix. And we got bumped in Dallas Fort Worth that there was only one flight in Phoenix when we got there, and we did not make it. And so we spent the night in Phoenix, and this was like mid-July probably. I don't know. Whatever it was like 116 degrees in Phoenix. And I was living in Louisiana, so I was used to hot and humid. This was dry out there.
Mhm.
And so we got a shuttle to the, airport hotel right there. And then we were like, oh, we got to go eat. And there was a Jack in the Box right around the corner. So we're like,
Great
let's walk
tacos.
over there. And you could feel the heat radiating up off of it was ridiculous. I was like, this is like you're getting burnt this way and coming up from the ground at you. It was so hot. I was like, I don't know what's wrong with people, why they live here. It doesn't make sense. And then that's also the same the next day when we flew into Cabo. We're coming in and we're coming, ding, ding, put your seatbelts on. We're about to land. I start looking. I'm looking out the windows, and where my wife and I are sitting, the stewardess is sitting right here facing us. So there's, and they're like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like, "I'm trying to look and see. Like it looks like a desert out there." And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, I said, "Well, I guess the palm trees and stuff are going to be on that side over there." And so I was like, looking, they're like, "What? This is a desert." And I was like, "Wait, what?" I thought we were, I thought, I'm not a world traveler, but I thought if you're going to like these
Beach
resort places, they're
Yep.
going to look like what you picture Hawaii looks like, luscious palm trees and greenery everywhere. It's all sand as we're landing. And I was like, this is not right. So, sorry. So, don't want to burst your bubble, whoever wins that trip to Cabo, but it is very nice. And you can go to Cabo Wabo and have all the fun stuff. Go to the little arch, the Lover's Arch, or whatever they call that thing, glass bottom boat tours and everything. But it is not a rainforest type setting.
Not a tropical.
Not tropical. There you go. At all. Sorry. Derailed. We're back.
Well, does that impact the name? Because this says it is a tropical citrus punch flavor.
Right? Yeah. This should be desert flavor.
Desert punch flavor just doesn't have to roll off the tongue, though, does it?
The water drained out of 15,000 cactus per can. What? Yeah, maybe that should affect the name. Boy, now you got me thinking. I like the name. I think it's Baja. It's Mountain Dew. And like I just said, tropical is what I thought Cabo was. So in my mind, and I'm assuming that a lot of people that haven't been to Cabo probably picture what I was picturing we were flying down to for a weekend or a few days, however long we were there. But yeah, so I'm not gonna discredit that because.
And when you're on the beach drinking a Baja Cabo citrus, do you really care if there's desert on the other side of the resort that's behind you?
That's right. No. That's right. The first morning we were walking out to go swimming, and a guy was walking in and we had, obviously you have the pool, and then the beach it's on the beach basically, and then you go down to the ocean. Some guy just caught like a 5 or 6 foot hammerhead shark right there.
Wow. And
I was like, well, we're only swimming in the pool now. We're not going out there. What the heck? Those things are right here? I was like, no, it's not safe. So tread safely, my friends that make this trip. All right, what's your score, Phil?
For name, I gave it a 5.
That's a good one. That is a good one. Oh, we got to do math here coming up. I also gave it a 5. I like it. Baja Cabo Citrus. It gives me it tells me what I'm getting into. I do get the Baja. I'm citrus, lime, and oranges. Let's call it citrus. And Cabo is tropical. And that's what this tastes. This tastes very tropical to me. So I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 5 as well for those same reasons.
Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Phil's son told us sometimes it might be easier to count the numbers that you didn't get, and that gives you your answer better than trying to add.
Yeah, he was adding up real quick, and we're like, how did you do that? And he's like, well, 36 is the total, so I just took off points on the ones that I took off points. And I'm like, oh, huh.
All right.
That's that new math they're teaching now.
32. My total score is 32.
My total score is also 32.
And I had 31.
Those are some solid scores.
Very strong for a 8-week run Mountain
Yeah.
Dew.
Yeah.
This one might need to be made run a little bit longer, or it might be a retread. We might see it in a future year or two.
Yeah.
That they're like, hey, we're bringing that one back. People loved it. And they
I'm
bought
putting
it.
this in the studio.
Heck yes.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Out of the double Ziploc bag.
My first Mountain Dew judging review
Right?
needs to be commemorated, especially if it's a limited edition right there.
Yeah, no doubt. Hold on here. Yeah, there we go. Zoom in on that, folks. There it is.
Right
up
there,
on the shelf.
right in front of the Surrender the Booty hot sauce.
Yes. All right. Well, Matt, we really appreciate it. You jumping on here and spending some time. I know you got a lot of stuff going on right now.
Thanks for the invite. I wouldn't miss it. I was excited to do this.
He runs some podcasts. Obviously, we've talked about that. He is also a Bassmaster EQ angler. He just raised a huge portion of $1.1 million.
We did 48,000 this year.
He made $48,000 for the St. Jude child research.
Wow.
And fished a tournament that you won last year.
Yeah, we got 18th this year, but
yeah.
Finish is secondary to how much money you raise.
That's right. And so lots of good things going on in Matt's life and world that he is pumping out there in a fishing world right now that's kind of doom and gloom.
It's getting better.
I got phone calls.
I think we're on the upswing.
Yeah, that's right. We are moving it, but appreciate you. We'll close this out and then we'll talk to you real quick, Matt, when we get done. If you don't
Phil
mind.
Bob, thanks again. Also, this was a great invite. Very honored to be the first to help review the Baja Cabo citrus.
Yeah, thank
Very
you for
delicious.
joining us. You did a great job too. So that was really good.
Thank you.
Oh, did you finish yours, Panger? Is it all gone?
Yep.
Bill, did you finish yours?
Oh, not yet.
Okay, so you can slam it then when we get done here.
I can.
There we go.
That's all I saved was that much. And I purposely set it aside and stopped drinking because I knew you were going to make me slam it. So, all right. Well, thank all of you as well.
Yep.
I'm Phil.
I'm Bob.
And we are
the Mountain Duo. Slam it. Yes.
Light work.
That's
all right.
Amazing.
Oh, one more thing.
What's that?
Play that theme song.
Mountain Duo. They'll figure out which dews are overrated and rave about the flavors that they love. With a ranking scale that's way too complicated, it's Mountain Dew they're connoisseurs of. They'll compare different flavors of Mountain Dew, make OGs and newbies go toe to toe. They'll tell stories about their crew and share the scores with you. They're Bob and Phil and they are the Mountain Dew